So we're going to look at how to connect to the data logger first of all. So the first thing you need to do is select new experiment, data sharing, camera. When you get to your screen, you want to click the home button, click connections, and then scan a QR code. Once that's done, you can record, select information. I've got a couple that I've done earlier, so I'm just going to grab one of those and show us how to get information off the data logger. So here is a run from previously with the mousetrap racer. I'm going to grab run 12. Okay, so there are three different options we have for each side. If you want to change the data you're collecting, you tap the y-axis for the graph that you want to adjust. I'm going to look at our position time graph first of all to show us how we can find velocity using the gradient. So we grab with our finger, we tap there until it selects. We grab across. Okay, now there are two ways you can do this. You either hit the button in the corner there, or you tap the graph depending on what it is, which model you have for the Vernier data logger app. And when we do that, we can see up here that we have our gradient of 0.485. Now what that means is that the mousetrap racer travelled an average of 0.485 meters per second on that run. Alternatively, so that's how I can find my velocity that way. Alternatively, I can grab my velocity graph for the same section, and I'm trying to grab parts of the graph where I'm trying to grab parts of the graph where the data logger was not missing the mousetrap. Still fetching. Might go back to one graph. So here I can grab that data there, hit the same button in the corner. Whoop. Hit the same button in the corner there, and instead of hitting apply curve fit, I hit view statistics, and up there I can see that my mean is 0.434. It is very similar, but it's not exactly the same. It doesn't matter which method you use in this experiment, providing the fact that you use the same method. So you either use the mean or the gradient. The same can be done when I'm trying to find my acceleration, but instead of using the gradient for my position time graph, I'm going to use the gradient for my velocity time graph. And as I can see there, my gradient is 0.205, which means the average acceleration was 0.205 meters per second squared. And again, I've tried to select the parts only before the data logger started missing. Alternatively, if I don't want to do that, I can apply the same theory that I did before. It's always a good idea to look at your velocity time graph to see. And I grab the part of the data which looks like it was unaffected by missing. Yep, that's it. And I again hit view statistics rather than linear, and I can see there it's 0.288. So there are some similarities there between the two. Again, it doesn't matter which way. So if I'm finding my acceleration, I either use the mean of my acceleration time graph or the gradient of my velocity time graph. If I'm finding my velocity, I use the gradient of my position time graph or the mean of my velocity time graph.